To send this to Vernon. I wonder if they could hear this TV in the background. I have this on very low volume. Very low volume. I must have put this jersey on like 17 times. Let's see if he's logged in. I can't. All right. That was fast. I hate that I never see these pregame shows on CBS or Fox.
Oh, we.
I miss, I missed like the last 2 minutes because I thought after the fumble Pascal, I thought that uh, the game was over. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, no. So great. It was a hell of a game, yo. They finally ended a 25-year drought. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm. But what happened? So did they call it that he was down by contact? They call Pascal down by contact.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been, but because he said his knee was up, but they said the rule on the field stands. I thought they were gonna like end it early, but it took a minute, but they finally ended it. So I was happy about that.
If I was them, I would have given. I would have brought in Brissett since Philip Rivers' arm was never that lively. I would have brought in Brissett to throw the Hail Mary, but hey, they left 6 points off. They left 6 points on the board. They missed a field goal, and they went in. They didn't go for. They went for it and didn't convert on the fourth down. So they got themselves to blame.
They actually left 7 points because the miss. Well, actually, yeah, about like 6 months. They missed a field goal. Well, actually, they missed a field goal. They went for it, and then whatchamacallit, they decided instead of kicking a field goal, they decided and getting the extra point, they decided to go for two, and they missed out. So
Well, I think I didn't really count they went for two because they ended up getting the conversion anyway the second time to Doyle back in the end zone.
yeah,
So you know how like you get down by 2 touchdowns and you start panicking and you start to throw the ball over the place. I have to give them credit because they continued to run the ball.
yeah. I mean, they ended up getting like a couple plays um in like under a minute and 2 minutes, but it was just amazing, just a uh great game for that one overall. But I was really satisfied. I know Bills Mafia, they're going crazy right now, and they'll host another playoff game at Bill Stadium next week, so they're really satisfied about that. So
I don't remember when they changed it to Bill Stadium, but I
I think it
gotta
was like this
I,
season they changed it because it used to be like New Era Stadium. They had a whole bunch of names. They had like Ralph Wilson Stadium, New Era, and now it's like Bill Stadium.
yeah, it's whoever at a certain point it's whoever the company that's like financing whatever is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how that goes a lot. I believe I said it at halftime. Just watch out for those crossing routes, and the Colts never strayed away from it. And they ran a couple of like what I call banana routes when I went to Stepanek for that like 2 months that I went there. It's kind of like a corner route, but it's like a rounder version. And we know since his Chargers days, Rivers loves the tight ends.
Yeah, man, it was they did work it. I mean, he was loving on his tight ends though. Doyle, uh, Mo Alley, Cox. He was loving on a whole lot. I mean, Michael Pittman, he has high potential. Jonathan Taylor, high potential as well. His legs are powerful because he almost got stopped and the game might have been over earlier, but he ended up persevering and doing what he had to do. So it was legit. But I changed the channel because the post game was on CBS. They already did the interviews. They're talking now, but I already changed over to Fox because it's the second game is the Rams and it's the Seahawks, and they just announced that the guy last week, I think it was the Wilston or something like that.
The quarterback,
He's gonna start. Yeah, like John Wool something.
yeah, I can't.
So
I had my Bills notes in front of me. I can't remember the guy. I wrote down the notes for each podcast that I listened to, but I can't remember the guy's name. But they said Goff is active. We'll see what they do with it. If it's a quarterback by committee, which is what the Washington football team is doing. maybe.
Yeah, yeah, no. He basically they're starting a different quarterback. I was just like, wow, okay. I mean, Goff is active, but I think he just said what Wilster or something like that. I forgot, but Goff is active, so in case he's like that emergency quarterback that they go to, but it is what it is.
And yeah, this
But
game possessions, like for most of it, I don't want to say for most of it, for most of the second half, it was multiple possessions. But I'm telling you, I really love the fact that the Colts did not panic and they kept with the run game. And what's funny is on multiple occasions they caught Edmonds in a situation where he's playing pass defense and he's almost backing up, and these guys are climbing to the next level and they're sealing off the outside. And you got Hines for one long run at least, and Taylor for maybe two long runs. And this exact same thing happened. I'm trying to look at my notes here. And with single, as I dropped the phone, whereas Singletary did the exact same thing.
they even put Matt Milano in a position like that, and then they just had like Jack Doyle wide open.
Oh, so wait, say that again. I was on pause. Say that again.
No, I said they basically put in the linebackers to have to cover like Edmund. I mean, um, Edmonds, and then of course Matt Milano. They had to put him in covers, and then that's how Jack Doyle ended up getting open.
Well, I like Edmonds got at least two deflections. One of them.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great coverage linebacker. Milano's not really. That's not his style. He's more of a great run stopper, or outside linebacker to get after the quarterback. But putting him in a situation where he has a pass cover is not his strong suit, though.
How devastating was it that the Colts didn't recover the fumble? I believe it was Muhammad, the defensive lineman. He's running to tackle Allen, and he almost kicks the ball, and the ball's right under him.
Yeah, it's a bang bang play. I know it would have changed the game, and they would have given Indy, and they would have scored on a fast pace and put the pressure on the Bills, and of course Josh Allen, to try to win his first playoff game and everything. But it's unfortunate. They still have a high ceiling, of course, and going to next year. It's just a matter of who's a quarterback. I feel for Phillip Rivers. I know he's going to probably be like almost like Dan Marino, that great quarterback that never wins a Super Bowl. I feel like they'll bring him back for next year, but I still feel like for the future they need to draft a quarterback. Whether I know it's not going to be Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields, but maybe I think Kyle Trask or Zach Wilson or something like that. So
I'm not big on the quarterbacks this year. I mean, I could be wrong. I could be wrong about one of them, but we all know like 90 whatever percent of the players drafted in general aren't going to make it, and then you go. Most of the quarterbacks end up. I don't want to say that they're busts. They never, turn out to be Russell Wilson. But I'm telling you, what's the underrated or overlooked part of this game was it might have been like third and long, third and 32, whatever it was, third and 33, and Allen hits Singletary for that completion, and Leonard tries to rip the ball out of his hands. That actually flips the field position somewhat going into the Colts, receiving the punt, because they had a 65-yard field goal. If that's incomplete, then we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if Blankenship has a chance to actually hit a field goal at the end.
right,
Deep type play by Allen.
yeah, I felt like he should have they shouldn't have challenged it before, because obviously Zach Moss's knee was down. They should have never challenged it. They would have had a timeout, so it could have worked the middle of the field. Gave Blankenship an opportunity to kick it, and then we could have been in overtime and whatnot. But like I said, overall, great game. It's unfortunate for the Colts, but like I said, they're still strong. But at the same time period, the blame I probably would have to go around is Frank Reich, the coach. You take the points, especially in the playoffs. This ain't a regular season game, and plus you're playing a great team like the Buffalo Bills, who are now 14-3, but 13-3 in the regular season. So
I don't know if you remember, it might have been 2018 where he went for it, and it was like might have been like against the Texans. This is like middle of the year, and he went for it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's his style. I'm more conservative. I want to take the points with it, but he's different.
Yeah, like I said, you take the points. You're in a close contest with a team, and the AFC was competitive this year, where every team in the playoffs had 11 or more wins. And even the Dolphins, they didn't go. They had double-digit wins. So the AFC was a competitive conference this year. The NFC, not so much, or at least with the NFC East, as we know. But still, it's the fact that you gotta take those points. You're in Buffalo. It's cold weather. You guys are used to playing in a dome. Philip Rivers had an unbelievable game. You got to take those points.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I couldn't have said it better because there's just I know like people say if they face a high-powered offense, you don't want to kick field goals, but they went for it on fourth and goal from the 4. It wasn't as if they had it at the 2-yard line, and you could actually some people say that Quentin Nelson is like a weapon when he pulls, but
Absolutely.
yeah, so I'm not really sure that, going forward on fourth down, like you better have a great play setup, and Rivers it's inches from the receiver's hand. So if you go for it, you better, darn well convert. So
Yep. And now this game's about to kick off now.
yeah, it's probably like 3 minutes away. All right, I'll see you at halftime of this one, and this might be low scoring, so we'll see what happens.
Yep. We'll see.
All
All right,
right,
man.
see you at halftime.
All right.
All right, 27-24. Why am I forgetting who played? Buffalo over the Colts. Colts did not deserve to be in it because the 7 seed shouldn't be a thing. The NFL lost a lot of money without fans in the stands, so they added an extra seed. I disagreed with it, but, I don't run the league. Goodell does. So if the Colts even won, I would have said they wouldn't have earned it, but, that's my opinion. Doesn't make it right. See you at halftime. Me and Vernon, we're doing this thing back and forth for at least today, and we'll see if he agrees to do it for tomorrow. So, all right, NFL playoffs. Let's keep it going.